Liz Hayward loves what she does. The interior designer spends her days transforming homes into beautiful, functional spaces.
I have a range of clients that I work with, often sort of professional couples with children that just need to make their house functional and usable and be able to entertain in and have all the family around. And I also work with downsizers, so people are, their children have moved out of home and they're just starting fresh, into the next part of their life.
Hayward & Co has a website and is on Instagram, Facebook and Pinterest. But Liz doesn't really know how to best use the platforms to promote her business. So Stevie Dillon from Stevie Says Social is here to help.
So you're in a really creative industry. Do you have any photos of your designs?
I have a portfolio and a gallery, but it is actually something that's a little bit limited. Although I'm sort of around beautiful spaces each and every day, to actually capture all those images can be quite difficult. I'm obviously working with clients in their private space, in their residential homes, and I have to respect the privacy of my clients, and they don't always want their home captured and photographed. In addition to that, the projects I work on can take up to and over 12 months as well. So I am working in a long time frame, and there's obviously a huge cost involved in photographing a complete house as well. So there are limitations, and that means that I am limited to how many images I actually have on hand.
And you've received some awards as well.
I have actually. I was a top 10 finalist in a magazine competition called Australia's Most Beautiful Rooms, and so I was lucky enough to be a finalist in that competition.
Liz is clearly very good at what she does, but she wants to get known more broadly.
So let's talk about your social media game. How is it?
In one word, it's appalling. There is no game, there is no strategy, and it is definitely something that I need to work on and I need a lot of help with as well.
So at the moment, how often are you posting to Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook?
Look, it could be anywhere as a post a day, and it could be anywhere as low as a post a month. So, as I said, it's appalling.
So when it comes to a really killer social media strategy, there's basically 4 elements. So you'll need to start with a really cohesive brand that you basically amplify across all of your social media channels. The second thing that you need to have sorted is social media and content. So a really strong presence on the social media platforms where your ideal client is hanging out, and a content strategy that really engages them. The third thing that you need is a selling system. So at the end of the day, social media is a conversation starter rather than a deal closer. So you need to have a way to move people off social media into a platform that you own to sell to them. And the fourth is traffic. So you need to proactively get off your own social media accounts with things like Facebook advertising and collaborations, and actually go out to where your ideal client is hanging out.
How do I actually know where my audience is?
So that's a really good question. You can get a lot of insight from things like your Instagram insights. You can actually see who the demographic currently connected to your accounts are. And then there's some great resources online for actually finding out exactly where that demographic is hanging out and which social media channels that they're using.
Coming up, Stevie talks Liz through the ins and outs of a social media content strategy. A game plan is a must.
So with the accounts that you are using, do you feel like you could be utilising them better than you are at the moment?
Very much so. I am completely underutilising them. I mean, everybody's on social media these days. So, and given that I work in such a visual industry and social media is visual, it really is something that would be a huge benefit to me, and I'm just not utilising it to its full potential at the moment.
So how have you gone about finding your clients so far? Has it been through your website? Has it been through word of mouth, or maybe something else?
Yeah, definitely a combination, I'd say. Word of mouth is really important in the interior design industry. Given that it's such a personal relationship that you end up working with, everyone wants you to have a reference point and to be able to know that you can work with that person. My website's also very important. I ensure that it's got up-to-date imagery as much as I can, and it portrays all my services. And I actually have had some inquiries through social media, despite my appalling efforts at it. So that just tells me that it is something that would work for me and something that I need to focus on.
So you need to make sure that you have a content strategy that's a mix of value, so becoming the go-to person in your industry and really educating and inspiring people with the content that you put out. Connection content, so getting people to relate to you and to want to do business with you over every other person in your industry. And also a little bit of promotion, because you obviously do want people to take that action and actually, do business with you as well.
So Stevie, Instagram and Pinterest are obviously very important to my business, but are there any other social media platforms I should be focusing on?
You're in a really visual industry, so I would say, especially given that you're just one person, I would focus on the platforms where your ideal client are most likely to be hanging out, and that is Instagram and it is Pinterest. Instagram is the fastest growing social media platform. There's 1 billion users on it and 600 million active users every day. So it's definitely a platform that I would focus your attention on. And with Pinterest, it's actually not a social media platform at all, it's a search engine. So the benefit of a platform like Pinterest for you is that you can really start to generate really long-term traffic and attention over time.
So Stevie, what makes a really excellent Instagram post?
That comes down to a few different things. Instagram is obviously a super visual platform, so you need to make sure that you have killer images going out that are really high quality, and I would recommend for you professional photography that showcases not only your work, but also lifestyle imagery and behind the scenes and showcasing a little bit of you as well. The other kind of secret sauce when it comes to Instagram is your captions. Your captions are so important. So when people are scrolling, they first see the first few lines of your captions. So you've got to make sure that you've got a killer hook. You then need to make sure that your captions are really telling a story.
So there's obviously a lot of work to be done, but as like a starting point, what would be your 3 top tips to focus on?
The first thing that I would do is to come up with a really strong content strategy. So make sure that you're putting that value content, connection content and promotion content in, and working out how many times a week you're going to post and consistently stick to that. The second thing I'd look at is potentially a professional photo shoot, which incorporates some photos of you and some lifestyle images. And then the third thing is just to schedule it into your diary and commit to actually doing it, because it can be the first thing that drops off when things get busy.
So, as Stevie says, first things first, come up with a content strategy. A professional photo shoot would give Liz a stockpile of photos to work with. And finally, make time to post, no matter how busy you get.